Scrooge and the Stars, adapted from Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. The following people are impersonated in this production: Scrooge, Jack Benny; Cratchit, Rochester; the nephew, Jimmy Stewart; two gentlemen from the poor, Jimmy Durante and Alfred Hitchcock; the carol singer, Bing Crosby; Jacob Marley, John Wayne; the first spirit, Walter Brennan; second spirit, John F. Kennedy; third spirit, Ed Sullivan. Men at the party are Van Heflin, Raymond Burr, and Peter Lorre. On the street corner, they're James Mason, Jack Webb, George Burns, Dana Andrews, and Orson Welles. The part of the young boy is played by Chester, Fezziwig, Jackie Gleason, Dick Wilkins, Gregory Peck, and your host and narrator, Brett McMurray.
Marley was dead. Dead as a doornail. And old Scrooge lived alone and disliked everybody. He was a nice fellow. He had a clerk in his office, Bob Cratchit, and he only paid the poor fellow 15 shillings a week, and he had a wife and family. Now, this particular morning, as a matter of fact, it was the day before Christmas, we find Scrooge in his office pasting in his gold bond stamps.
6,422 stamps. 6,423 stamps. Gosh, you know, I've almost got enough to buy a television set. Then I can stay home Monday nights and watch the horror movie on Channel 8. Terrific.
Cratchit occupied a cold little dismal cell off Scrooge's. Whenever he stopped to warm his hands over the burnt-out coals, Scrooge would look up over his dark glasses and say,
Now cut that out.
But my fire is nearly out. I need some more coal to replenish it.
Now, how many times have I told you I won't have you burning up my coal as if it were rubbish?
But, boss!
Now, get back to your work.
Yes, sir.
Now, where was I? Oh, for heaven's sake. 1, 2, 3, 4.
No sooner had Cratchit returned to his stool when Scrooge's nephew, Fred, entered the room.
Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you. Humbug. Christmas a humbug. Now, surely you don't mean that. I do. I mean, what's Christmas time but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself 40 when you're only 39. Well, Uncle, that's the keep Christmas in your way and let me keep it in mine. But you don't keep it. Well, then let me leave it alone, then. Much good may it do you. Much good it ever has done you. Now, Christmas is the only time of year when men and women seem to lift their hearts freely to one another, and although it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, well, I have believed it's done me good. And I say God bless it.
Good for you.
Another word out of you, Cratchit, and you'll spend Christmas on the Lawrence Welk show. Now, don't be hard on him. Come and dine with us tomorrow. I'll see you at a charity ball first. Good afternoon. Well, I'm sorry with all my heart to find you so determined. So a Merry Christmas, Uncle. Good afternoon. And a Happy New Year to you, too. Good afternoon. Really? A person can't be left in peace for 5 minutes. Oh, darn. 1, 2, 3.
Well, time elapsed till Scrooge was interrupted a second time. This time, two gentlemen from the poor.
3,422. Oh, for heaven's sake. Now what?
Have we the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Well, Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. As a matter of fact, he died 7 years ago this very night.
We have no doubt his generosity is well represented by his surviving partner.
Yeah. You see, at this festive season of the year, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor. This is my big speech. Many thousands are in want of common comforts.
You're wasting your time.
What shall we put you down for?
Nothing.
Nothing. How do you spell that? N-O-T-H.
You wish to be left anonymous?
Well, since you asked me what I wish to be left alone. Now, good afternoon.
Come, Horace, let us depart with all possible speed.
Good night, Ebenezer Scrooge. Whatever you are.
One, two, three, four.
Scrooge worked on into the late afternoon. Finally,
It's closing up time, boss. And, boss, I was wondering if I could have tomorrow off, if it's convenient.
Well, it's not convenient, and it's not fair. Oh, all right. But be here all the earlier the next morning.
Yes, sir. And a merry, good night, Mr. Scrooge.
Merry Christmas. Humbug. Let's face it. The only guy that really enjoys Christmas is Dean Martin.
Scrooge made his way home in the dark. Darkness was cheap, so he liked it. He lived in a rooming house that was once occupied by his beloved partner, Jacob Marley. But when he reached the door, he noticed that something was wrong with the knocker.
Good heavens. I could have sworn I saw Jacob Marley's face right there in the knocker. Rubbish.
Well, Scrooge started slowly up the stairs. He went into his room. First thing he did was look under the bed.
Excuse me, but is there anybody under there? Good.
Then he went and looked in his dressing gown that was hanging on the wall. Nobody was in that. Finally, he bolted the door. Then he turned on the lights. Now, that's ridiculous. I mean, how could he see under the bed and look in his dressing gown if he didn't even have the lights on?
Yes, but you're forgetting I have baby blue eyes.
Next, Scrooge made himself some gruel or porridge or flubber or whatever they made in those days, and he sat down before the fire to eat it.
Gosh, you know, this is terrific. And if I don't finish eating it, I can always save it for paste when I'm working on my green stamps. What a hard day at the office. It's so nice just to, to sit here and relax. Now what? What's going on under my window?
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. Hey, Pops, I wonder if you could spare a dime, huh?
Darn kids and their Christmas carols. It's ridiculous. He'll never go anywhere anyway. Now for some peace and quiet. What was that? Good heavens. Sounds like Phil Harris.
Suddenly, a figure came right through the wall and into the room.
Gee, I wonder what he does for an encore. Now look, who are you and what do you want with me?
Well, ask me who I was, because in life I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
You're kidding. Gosh, what a lousy makeup job.
Well, actually, I'm the spirit of Jacob Marley. You don't doubt me, do you?
Oh, no, it's just that, well, you might be a slight disorder of the stomach, you see. I mean, you could be an undigested bit of beef, or a blot of mustard, or a crumb of cheese, or a Betty Crocker brownie. I mean, for all I know, you could be Davy Crockett. Now cut that out.
You believe in me or not?
I do. I must. But what do you want with me? I mean, say your bit and get out.
When I came out here to see you, Scrooge, I was looking for something. I didn't know what. Seems like you added up my life, and I spent it either stomping other people or, in some cases, getting stomped. Well, the same thing isn't going to happen to you. And I'm going to prevent it. So listen and listen tight.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Well, you shall be visited by 3 spirits. Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls 1. Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. And the third upon the next night when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate. And look to see me no more.
Wait till I get a pencil here.
I'll be seeing you. Let's get out of here.
Scrooge, being the kind of a man he was, he stood up and said,
The whole business is rubbish. I don't believe it.
and with that he climbed into bed and was soon fast asleep.
Money. Money. Money.
Well, he slept on as if he was a man of 60. 39, sorry. Finally, he was awakened by the chimes of a clock which struck 6, 7, 8, right up until 12 o'clock.
$12. Gosh, imagine Marley saying the first spirit would be here when the bell tolled 1. I mean, it's silly. 1 o'clock. The hour itself and nothing. I knew it. Howdy, Scrooge. Who are you? What business brings you here?
Your welfare. Rise and walk with me.
Who can walk like that? I'm mortal. I'm liable to fall down.
I know. But bear but a touch of my robe, and you shall be upheld in more than this.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
As the words were spoken, they passed through the wall and stood upon an open country road.
Good heavens, I was born here, right here on this very spot.
Your lip is trembling. Come, I want you to see another Christmas.
This time the spirit led Scrooge to an old warehouse and asked him if he knew it.
Know it? I used to work here. And look, there's my old boss, Fezziwig, alive again. And Dick Wilkins. Oh, dear Dick, a wonderful guy.
Oh, how sweet it is. All right, pay attention. We are going to have a party. So, Ebenezer, you get up the shutters, and, Dick, you go for the refreshment as fast as you can say, "Oh, that's good booze."
As good as done, sir. All right, grab your fiddle, Ebenezer, because we're going to have a party you'll never forget.
Wasn't Fezziwig a silly man?
Silly? Gosh, everybody loved him. He was a wonderful guy.
What's wrong now?
Oh, nothing. It's just that a boy was singing a Christmas carol under my window last night. I should have liked to have given him something. A singing lesson or something.
Well, you should have thought of that a long time ago. Come on, Scrooge.
Where are we going now?
We're going to climb a mountain.
Oh, no, Spirit, no. I'm too weak. I'm too tired.
Come on, Scrooge. There's work to be done.
No, Spirit, no. I can't go on. Spirit.
Then, quite suddenly, he was conscious of being in his own bed. An irresistible drowsiness came over him, and he sank into a heavy sleep.
Money.
However, he was awakened promptly at the stroke of 1.
1 o'clock. What's that noise in the next room? I'll put a stop to that. Ebenezer Scrooge. Oh, no. Look what you've done to my room. Looks like a Cleopatra coffee break. Peter, Bobby, Frankie, please, let's be quiet. Who are you? Well, of course, I am the ghost of Christmas present, and I'm going to show you some new frontiers. Young spirit, conduct me where you will. I learned a lesson last night which is working on me now. I mean, if you have ought to teach me, let me profit by it.
Immediately the room vanished, and they stood on the city street on Christmas morning. And the ghost led Scrooge to Bob Cratchit's home. Everyone was getting ready for Christmas dinner. And when it was announced that Bob was coming home with his young son, Tiny Tim, who was lame, the whole family surprised him.
God bless us, everyone.
God bless you too, Tim.
Tell me, Sparrow, will the boy Tiny Tim, will he live? Well, I see a vacant chair in the chimney corner, and a crutch without an owner. Now, if these shadows remain, it could be bad. Oh, no, Spirit, no, say he'll be spared. Come, I want you to see another Christmas. Well, he said he wasn't coming, and he made that point perfectly clear. Spirit, whose voice is that? I recognize it. He said Christmas was a humbug, and he didn't believe in it.
Well, I say forget about him. I just haven't got any patience for these type of people. Well, I know he's your uncle, but let's face facts. He's grumpy, stingy, and he plays a rotten violin. Oh, come, Mr. Tumpain. Surely you don't believe that. Isn't it true that you really feel sorry for him? And isn't it true that you'll go on being nice to him every Christmas in the hopes that someday, when he dies, you may inherit his violin?
Well, he certainly has given us plenty to laugh about with that violin. I heard him the other day trying to play, get this, Love in Bloom.
Really?
Love and bloom. I can imagine.
So I give you a toast to Uncle Scrooge. Uncle Scrooge. Well, thank you, Fred. Scrooge, my life upon the globe is brief. It ends tonight. As a matter of fact, it ends as quickly as you can say a name. Nikita Khrushchev.
And with that, the spirit vanished into thin air. The clock at this point was just striking 12 o'clock.
Gosh, time for the appearance of the third spirit.
Suddenly, the third spirit stood before Scrooge's bed. Only this phantom was different from all the others. He was hunched and stern-looking, and his hands were at his hips. He slowly, gravely, silently approached Scrooge's bed.
Now, I am the ghost of Christmas yet to come. And I'm going to show you all things that can happen in the future. Your pictures you can't take with a Brownie store flash camera.
Stop. Anything but a commercial. Lead on, Spirit. I'll follow.
Well, in a twinkling of an eye, they were in the heart of the big city. And they stopped before a little group of businessmen who were chit-chatting on a street corner.
I don't know much about it. All I know is he's dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is true. He died this morning at 7:45 a.m.
Well, I thought he'd never die. Well, his joke started years ago. What's he done with all his money? Well, knowing him the way I do, he probably put it in his mattress.
Well, it's likely to be a very cheap funeral. I don't know a soul who's going, not even his sponsor.
Well, of course, I don't mind going if there's going to be a lunch provided.
I wonder if they're going to serve peanut butter sandwiches.
That's very good, yeah.
Gosh, that's terrible. I wonder who they're talking about. Sounds like Fidel Castro.
Now, if you'll follow me, youngster, I want you to see a gravestone.
The phantom moved, and Scrooge followed. And at length, the spirit of Christmas yet to come brought him to a neglected gravestone and told him to take a look.
Ebenezer Scrooge. Oh, no. No, Spirit, no. I'm not the man I was. Give me another chance.
In his agony, he caught the spirit's hand. Then he noticed it started to fade, shrink, collapse, till it dwindled down into a bedpost.
You've got to help me. I'll honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I'll live the past, the present, and the future, only just remove the writing on that terrible stone. Hear me, Spirit, Spirit, what am I doing? This isn't the phantom's hand, it's my bedpost. I'm in my own bed, and it's morning. But what morning? You, boy, what day is this?
What day is this? Well, it's Christmas Day. I mean, any darn fool knows that.
Christmas Day? I haven't missed it. Boy, do you know where the poultry shop is on the next block?
Well, no, but I might ask Doc or Mr. Dillon or Miss Kitty or somebody. They might know.
What an intelligent boy. It's a pleasure to talk to him. There's a turkey there.
Well, I'll be doggone.
Look, go and buy it. Be back here in 15 minutes, I'll play my violin for you. Be back here in 5 minutes, I'll give it to you. Gosh, look at him run. Poor chap must have a stone in his boot or something. I'll send it to Bob Cratchit. He won't know where it came from. Now I'll put on my blue suede shoes and hightail it over to my nephew's place for dinner.
Dressed in his best, Scrooge at last got into the streets. He went to church, gave a large donation to the poor, and danced all night at his nephew's place. You know, if he keeps this up, they may have to bury him in Disneyland. The next morning, Scrooge was early at the office. Now, if he could just catch Bob Cratchit coming in late, that's what he had set his heart on. And he did it. Cratchit was a full 18 and a half minutes late.
Now, look. What do you mean by coming in here this time of morning?
Sorry, boss. I was making kind of merry yesterday.
Look, I'm not going to stand for this sort of thing any longer. Therefore, I raise your salary. A Merry Christmas, Bob, my good fellow, and I've given you for many a year. A merrier Christmas, Bob. Now you get out of here and buy yourself another load of coal before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he became a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, as good a man as the good old city knew. He had no further experience with spirits, but lived a happy life ever after. And may that truly be said of one of us and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us, everyone.
yes, Tiny Tim, God bless us, everyone.